Hi there, remember me? My name's Alyssa Grasso, and this is my Awkward Author YouTube channel. And I don't know, it was a long time ago I made a video and said, hey, I'm back, I'm alive, and I'm gonna make more videos. And then didn't actually make more videos. But I'm gonna try to be better about that, and I came up with this idea, and we know how good I am about sticking with these ideas, so we'll see how well this goes, of just putting out a weekly update. Because here's the thing, like, I get ideas for videos, and sometimes I'm like, well, that's not really worth making a whole video about, or nobody cares about that. And of course, nobody cares about these weekly updates. I mean, there's like 5 of you that watch this channel, and I'm grateful for your views, but I know I'm not like a super popular YouTuber or anything like that, and no one's losing sleep over why I haven't made a video, that's for sure. But yeah, I wanted to try to put out just a weekly update of what's going on in my awkward author life, both authorly things, writing things, and just other general stuff, because that's what takes up most of my time, and that's why I don't get as much writing done as I would like, because I have this whole other life, as most of us do. And obviously I have a very messy office too. But anyway, so this is the first weekly-ish update, and I'll try to get these out every week or so. But again, like I said, we know how awful I am at sticking with things. That's one of my biggest issues. I'm going to try to be better about that, but no guarantees. So I made a list. I made a list of all the things that I wanted to cover that have been going on the past week, and I figured I'd start with writing stuff, because hey, you know, this is the Awkward Author YouTube channel. So my accomplishments, what I did writing wise this week, I wrote a chapter for a project I'm working on with another author. This is a project we're writing together. It's an adult novel with it's a thriller, adult thriller, and we're writing chapters, you know, one at a time, back and forth. This is the second project we're working on together. We're working on another book we started earlier with a third author. And that book is actually pretty far along. We're almost done with the first draft, which is awesome. Our thriller is not too far along, I guess. Maybe halfway, not really halfway, I guess. So, you know, we still got quite a bit of work to do on that, but we started it recently, within the past year. So I did complete that chapter, which took me way too long to write because I was just procrastinating and busy with other stuff too. And then on my own work in progress, just a solo thing I'm doing, which is also an adult thing, I finished up one chapter and I started another. I'm not giving word counts because I don't really know off the top of my head. I don't know, over 1,000 words, probably less than 2,000 words, so that's not much work there. But that's what I managed to do writing-wise this week. Oh, and I wrote a blog post. I'm part of a group blog called YA Outside the Lines, which is all YA authors. Even though I'm working on all these adult projects, I'm technically a YA author because my 3 published works are YA books. Anyway, so YA Outside the Lines, which is it's a group of YA authors, and each of us takes a different day of the month. I think there might be a few spots available, but each month we have a different topic, and then we write a blog post on it. So my day is the 18th, so it was my day this week to write something. Yeah, I actually was the one who suggested this month's theme. I don't know why I did that, because I didn't really have a post in mind when I suggested it, but I suggested that we do something on words, like our favorite word, or something along those lines. I guess favorite word was what it got picked as. I don't know. So, I mean, I suggested that, but you would think, like, if I suggested that, I would, like, have this blog post written in my head. I didn't. I really didn't know what I was going to cover. And so I went and wrote something about a favorite word when I was younger, a one-time favorite word, and maybe still sort of is a special word for me. I don't know. But I'm not even going to tell you any more about it. If you want to read more about it, you will have to go to YA Outside the Lines. I'll post a link in the description below so you can check out what my favorite word was when I was younger. Yeah, I'm weird. What else did I do this week? I did my taxes this week, which is probably the earliest I've done my taxes in like the past 5-6 years, I would say. I usually wait until April to actually do them, but I just wanted to get them done, and I had them hanging over my head, and I felt that if I could get them done, then I could focus more on other stuff. And so that was my plan there. When you're self-employed, well, two things. When you're self-employed, doing your taxes is ridiculously complicated, number one. And then number two, you don't get money back when you do your taxes. You have to pay money. So it's not a very pleasant experience. I mean, not that doing taxes is pleasant at any point, but at least if you're working for someone else, you usually get a refund. I don't get a refund. I have to pay the government. That's where your refund money is coming from. If you're working for someone else, it's coming from me. No, you've paid into the taxes all year long. That's why you're getting a refund. I don't, so I have to, I have to pay them at tax time. And but yeah, when you're self-employed, they're so complicated. I make money, if you know anything about me, I make money from writing, but not very much money from writing. So most of my money actually comes from other self-employed sources, most of which are selling stuff on the internet, be it on Etsy, on Amazon, really Etsy and Amazon. I don't really make any money on eBay. So that makes things like super complicated, and it's overwhelming. It's really kind of ridiculous, I think. I mean, this thought comes to me like every year at tax time. It's like our tax system and it's so complicated. Like there's a whole industry built around the fact that our taxes are so complicated that you need help doing your taxes, whether it's like, purchasing TurboTax or other like tax software, or going to a place like, I don't know, the places that do your taxes for you. I can't even think of the H&R Block and places like that. I mean, that whole industry exists because our taxes are so complicated that ordinary people can't actually do them. I mean, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way, but it's crazy, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so it's a very complicated thing to do my taxes. I do use bookkeeping software now because it was just overwhelming, and so I use GoDaddy bookkeeping to help keep track of my expenses and income. And then ideally at tax time I can just like import that information. It doesn't work as well as it should, but it does make it a whole lot easier than when I was just keeping stuff on paper or on a spreadsheet. So I was able to, in a single day, do my taxes, which may not sound that impressive to you, but trust me, that's impressive. It was one long, stressful, tiring day, but it was a single day. So yeah, so I still haven't, I e-filed, I still have to actually send my check to the government, so I haven't done that yet, but it's all ready to go. So yeah, that was a whole day there, and I made money this year, so that's good. I mean, that's nice. Now it's all gone. no, I gotta pay a lot of money. But yeah, taxes, not very exciting, but I did have to spend a whole day on that, so that took away from my productivity this week, but they're done, and I don't have to worry about them, so that's nice. And of course, my day job, I call it a day job. It's like, every waking hour job. But, selling stuff on the internet, that took up time, as far as buying stuff and listing stuff and dealing with questions and shipping stuff out and all that good stuff. It does take a lot of time. That's what I spend most of my time on, I guess. It's not very exciting, but, hey, it pays the bills. Oh, and we had St. Patrick's Day in here, so my boyfriend and I don't know, we started this tradition, I don't know when, but of having a little St. Patrick's Day dinner. I think we're both like maybe like a tiny little bit Irish, so we're allowed to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And what we do on St. Patrick's Day is we make Reuben sandwiches, but they're not traditional Reuben sandwiches for either of us because we both have our own weird issues. So it's our own version of Reuben sandwiches. For me, I don't eat meat, so there's no corned beef on my Reuben sandwich, and it's basically just like a Reuben sandwich without the corned beef. And then instead of corned beef, I have sliced up orange peppers, orange bell peppers. And so that's my version of a Reuben sandwich. His version of a Reuben sandwich is he doesn't eat sauerkraut, which seems really weird to me. Sauerkraut's great. Why wouldn't you like sauerkraut? But anyway, he doesn't eat sauerkraut. So his has, it has corned beef, it has Swiss cheese, and then he puts orange bell peppers on it too, which, you know, of course doesn't go with it at all because there isn't even sauerkraut. But anyway, he does that, and he doesn't use any dressing. There's no Thousand Island dressing on his. But so that's our own like weird version of Reuben sandwiches. So that's what we do on Thanksgiving. I don't know what I'm talking about, on St. Patrick's Day, and so that was like an extra little day that I got to spend with him this week. What we usually do is we usually have one day that is a day that we go out and do our shopping, and also I drop off boxes once a week. I'm shipping off boxes to Amazon for the day job, and so he comes with me. We drop off boxes. We usually hit a few stores so I can buy stuff to sell on the different places I sell stuff, and then we also do some grocery shopping. So we have that day this week, and then we also got an extra day, St. Patrick's Day. Plus I spent a day doing taxes, so if you're wondering, like, why'd you only write, like, 2 chapters this week? That's why. You know, I've been busy. And then I had a whole computer issue. I was trying to upload a video yesterday, a video that I make every week and upload every week, no problem, and I don't really know what happened, but it just wouldn't upload. This is for my other YouTube channel, for the channel I make videos about selling online, that's what everyone wants to watch. Nobody wants to watch me babble about being an author. But anyway, so it was a whole issue trying to upload that, and I mean, hours of like issues going on. I thought I couldn't start the computer up. I had to like boot it into safe mode. I had to like reinstall my operating system. I mean, crazy. I still don't know what the problem was. I think it was like a font that I had. Like I did get, that's the only like, you know, error report message I got was something about some font that wasn't, you know, talking to something else. I mean, who knows? But anyway, so fingers crossed it seems to be working now. Remember to do those backups, because I always get these, like, you know, the time machine, like, you haven't backed up your computer in, you know, 30 days. You want to do that? And I'm like, I don't need to do that now. But it's a good reminder to just back it up regularly. I mean, I have the portable hard drive, so why don't I do it regularly? Because I don't have time. But then something like that happens, and then it's like, oh my god, did I just lose everything? But it doesn't look like I did, so that's good. Oh, and I did have some good news yesterday afternoon, Friday afternoon. I'm making this on Saturday. Who knows when I'm going to upload this? Who knows if it will upload? But yeah, I'm on standby jury duty for next week, which I don't really want to be on a jury. I can't really, because I don't have time as it is. And, you know, if I'm on a jury, then I'm not doing the stuff that I need to do to make money, and I'm going to be losing money. Anyway, I'm only on standby jury duty, so how that works, at least here for me in Pennsylvania and in Bucks County, is they have a website. You have to check the website after 4 p.m. on like Friday afternoon to see if you have to show up on Monday. And then for 5 business days, so all next week, I have to check each afternoon to make sure I don't have to go in the next day. I don't have to go in on Monday, which is awesome news. And I'm thinking, by how high my number is and how low the numbers are that have to show up, that I'm probably, fingers crossed here, I'm not going to have to go in, because they would basically need 500 more jurors from standby jury duty to show up during the week. So I think that's pretty unlikely, but really I have no idea, and I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I think I'm pretty well safe, so that's good, because I really can't do that right now. I've served on a jury in the past, and yeah. But anyway, so that was my good news for the week, I guess. I don't know if that's such great news, but it was good to me, because I had that hanging over my head, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that on Monday. So I do have to do it on Monday. Hopefully I don't have to do it all week. Oh, and the last time I made an update video, which was like a long time ago, I think I said I was going to be working on self-publishing a nonfiction book, and yeah, that went about as well as the regular videos I was going to be putting out on this channel. So I have not done that yet, and I'm still thinking about it. I really have the book pretty much written. I was looking at hiring an editor. I was having trouble finding one who like really did the kind of book that this is. Maybe because a lot of people put these books out and don't have an editor. I mean, if they're self-publishing them, obviously if they're, you know, published by a major publisher, they have an editor. So I don't know. I haven't really made a decision on the hiring of an editor or not. I still have a little bit more I need to do with it, some more research I need to do on it, but I Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get that out there. That's one of my goals for the year. I'm really like kind of bummed that I don't have another like traditionally published book coming out anytime soon. Nothing, that's been accepted, and so I don't know. I'm kind of, I want to say depressed, but just kind of like I want a new book out there. I really want a new novel out there, but yeah, I haven't sold any, so I don't know when it's going to be that the next novel will be out there. Obviously, I have some written. Those haven't sold. I have, three that I'm working on, the two, co-authored projects and one solo. So maybe one of these days, one of them will be finished and will actually get accepted for publication. That would be awesome. But in the meantime, I think I am going to try to get a self-published nonfiction book out there. So yeah, I'll keep you abreast of that, how that goes. We'll see. Okay, and the other thing that maybe I'll make this a regular feature on my weekly update if that becomes a regular feature and there's a dog barking downstairs. I don't know what my dog's barking at because I don't think there's anything going on out there. I probably made a noise and that got him going. But anyway, we'll try to ignore the dog barking and talk about what I'm reading this week. And I finished up reading Sweet Home Alaska. Now this is by a friend of mine, Carol S.B. Dagg, and this is her second novel. It is a middle grade book. It is awesome. You should read it. It's historical fiction, and Carol did a lot of research on this. Sorry, I was seeing if the dog was going to stop. Set in Palmer, Alaska, during the Great Depression, and what they did was they took families who were on assistance in Wisconsin, Minnesota, I think it was Wisconsin, and sent them up to Alaska to be subsistence farmers in Alaska. Crazy. So the main character in this is, I guess that's her there, Terpsichore. I thankfully Carol put like a pronunciation thing in here because I read it, I was like, oh, Terpsichore. But no, it's Terpsichore. And I'm probably getting the accents wrong. But anyway, great book. You should read it. I learned stuff. Yes, it's written for children and kids will love it, but I liked it too. And Carol's a sweetheart, and you should read her book. So that was the first book that I read this week. And then the second book I read is also historical fiction. It's funny, like if you asked me, I would say, I don't really like historical fiction. But then I read two historical fiction books and they're great. Well, this one I haven't finished, but I am in the middle of reading it, and it's called Church of Marbles. It's by Leslie Parry. I don't even know when this came out. I actually picked this up do you have a little free library where you live? Well, you have like a little free library that's right in front of our post office. And I don't know, I just saw this in there. I'm like, that looks good. Maybe I'll pick it up and read it. And I'm glad that I did. So when was this published? I'm curious. Oh, 2015. So it's pretty new. And it's really good. It's set during, I want to say like the 1890s, I think, like 1895 or so. New York, 1895. Wow, good, Alyssa. Yeah, and it's really good, and it's these different characters in New York City whose lives all sort of come together, and really fascinating. And one of the things in this book is there's a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a surprise, and I've done that before in some of my books. But anyway, I think the sign of like, when an author is doing a good job is like, I kind of figured out where she was going with this. In fact, some of it hasn't even come up yet, but I think it's going to. But like, I was like, like I started like picking up on things, which, because she dropped little clues, but you might miss that. But I'm like, I know what's going to happen. And, I was right. So I always think that's like a good sign. Like, it's not bad if a reader figures out what's going to happen. I mean, if the whole thing becomes predictable, okay, maybe that's bad. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool when you kind of like realize something. That's like a sign that, this didn't come out of left field, that the author really set this up. But anyway, I don't know. There are a lot of people who are surprised by the ending of my first book, but there are other people who did figure it out. And what I did notice is the people that figured it out tend to be reading a little bit slower. They weren't like, the speed readers who sit down and read a book in a day, because you need time to like digest things and think about things. And I was reading pretty slowly. I used to read quicker. I used to have more time for reading. But now I tend to like read when I'm eating. Like I read at meals and, maybe when I'm waiting for my computer to boot up because it's having issues. But that's about it. Like I don't really, sit down and read a whole book anymore. And so when you read slower like that, then you have time to like think things over, and then you realize things that the author is going for. So anyway, I just think it's cool when that happens. And oh, I actually had this book out, which I didn't read this whole book or anything, but it's one of my favorite cookbooks, and I'm just going to share it. It's The Enchanted Broccoli Forest. It is by Molly Katzen, and I love this cookbook. Like I said, I'm a vegetarian, so this is a vegetarian cookbook, if you couldn't tell by the title. And it's awesome, and I just made a soup from, here, where is it? Yeah. Made the potato leek soup. And one of the things I love about this cookbook is it's written the way I think all cookbooks should be written. It's not like, you must use this, you must use that. It's much more like general, and it's not like, you know, you have to have like a 1/4 cup of cream or something, you know. I mean, it's like, you can use this, you can use that, you can put in these spices if you want, you don't have to, you know, kind of encourages you to be a little bit creative about things, which I think is how people generally cook anyway, at least I do. I mean, you know, when I make a recipe, it's not like I necessarily have all the ingredients, and like some stuff I don't even like. So yeah, there are different like recipes that'll have like ingredients that maybe you don't like, flavors you don't like. And sometimes I just like avoid those recipes altogether, but you can like customize them and modify them to like how you cook things. And like, I just don't like recipes that are like, you know, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and don't like say, well, you could do this, or you could do this, or you could do that. That's how I think a recipe should be, and that's why I love The Enchanted Broccoli Forest. So I was just bringing it up in the books I read this week, even though I just really read one recipe from it this week. But anyway, that is a long, rambling update of what I've been up to this week. I don't know why anyone would watch this or care to, but I'm putting it out there. And yeah, I'll try to be good about getting updates out. I can't promise you. But yeah, I'll see you again soon in a week or so. And I might try to get some other, like, you know, more on specific topics videos out, but no guarantees on that either. Anyway, I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.